This is the legend of the Gobblewonker.
Could be worse. Could be Legend of the Overfiend.
What?
I went with that reference.
Okay.
Anyway.
The code at the very end, I believe said be sure to drink your Ovaltine. No, actually it was next episode return to Bud Island. Which I thought was funny. Because they said Bud Island. Anyway, so this is an episode...
What?
Yeah. You were making beaver jokes like throughout the whole thing. Like, oh hey, gratuitous beaver shot. Oh, they got beaver on his face. That's the first time not a porno I've said that, and so on and so forth.
You know, I'm watching a Disney show, okay? I gotta vent some of
Got
this
that
somewhere,
one.
alright?
Actually, this episode did have, as well as a lot of episodes, a lot of stuff, again, where you just sort of go, really, Disney? I love how he has to wear an ankle bracelet by the end. I love how they do counterfeit money, and I adore the line, who wants to wear blindfolds and take a ride in my car?
The intro, I was just like, wow, counterfeiting. All right, we went there, and then this is like, all right, we'll have more fun this time. Who wants to wear blindfolds in my car?
I mean, this is stuff where my wife's seen a few of these episodes, and a lot of time, like, she likes to find, she just turns to me and goes, this is Disney? I'm like, right?
It's awesome, Disney.
Yeah, no, it's,
No, actually, I am so in love with what an awful, awful person Grunkle Stan is.
Yeah. Oh, and you might have figured out why he's called Grunkle. Because was your guess.
While we were watching it, I was like, do you think he's just called Grunkle Stan because he's grumpy Uncle Stan? I don't know.
So this episode, Grunkle Stan wants to take them on a fishing trip for that legitimate reason. It seems he actually just wanted to bond with them because he had no fishing buddies because he keeps getting turned in by the lake police and so on.
Which is what led to the just wonderful scenes of him being just an awful human being.
Yeah.
My favorite is the two grandkids who are just like, we love you, Grandpa! And he's like,
Boo! But Dipper and Mabel, they want to go find this the sea monster that the crazy old man comes up. I forget his name. I'll try again next time. Comes up and says, oh yeah, there's this monster and everything. So they go with Seuss to try and find this monster. Hijinks ensue, and it turns out that the crazy old man was the one who made the monster because he just wanted attention, pretty much.
The moral of today's story is...
in hindsight, it seems a bit contrived. But
No, my favorite is the first thing they ask. I was like, these kids have the wrong priorities because... the first it was kind of like Scooby-Doo. It's like they pop it open like, old man Willard! But... they're just like, you built this dragon? Why? And I was like, why? I think the real question is how.
Yeah, doesn't he ask that afterwards?
Afterwards he goes with how, and they're still like, why? Like, no, how?
So, of course, they go in the end and realize, we should spend time with Grunkle Stan and, steal people's fish and get arrested again and stuff like that. Again, funny episode. A lot of good laughs. A lot of firsts in this one, actually.
I think it's the first time I've ever seen a beaver attack on any television show.
We're still beavers.
I was just like, it's very random.
Some great jokes. I love the glass being moved across the lake on the two boats.
That one actually was almost just like, I was like, wow, that's like something just out of Family Guy. Yeah, it was so random.
But
it was funny.
Like I said, a lot of characters really make their first appearance in the show. The two cops make the first appearance. What I call the Gem Boys. I'm sure they have another name, but...
Oh my god, that was so funny.
No, and
I was like, wow, I totally dropped into a 1985 anime.
Even the background was very 80s.
Yeah.
When she's
they
in
captured the animation style of that. Oh, it was like, oh my god, I'm 6 years old again.
No, that they come back again. They do a lot with them, which is so funny because it was obviously just a throwaway joke, these two boys in a car, but it's like, you just know they love the design. They're like, we gotta do more with these, and they have fun with it later.
The scenes with her, very fast, Mabel's become my favorite character. Because she really, she thinks like I think. It's like, what would you do with $500? I'm like, yeah, probably the giant hamster wheel. And then I cut to Dippers, and he's, getting some interview, and he gets some sort of little reward. I'm like, lame, hamster ball.
Although, I love not only is he dressed like Indiana Jones, but he has stubble. I love that in his fantasy.
I like how she busts into his fantasy, though. Why won't you interview me? In the hamster
it's the first appearance of the guy that says, "Get him!" He pops up. Like, pretty much everyone on that lake makes another appearance, actually. The father
Thanks
that
for
was
ruining
feeding the
it for
fish. Well, no, but it's just interesting seeing
don't
how
care.
a lot of them come back. But, hold on, there's one other thing.
Yes, he's writing stuff down.
No, because a lot of them, like, I never noticed that, so I
No, I heard it. So I'm like, what are you writing? He's like, there are things I never noticed, and like, I'll forget if I don't write them down, and I've already forgot one of them before I get a chance to
But
write
I
it.
remembered it. So I guess my memory's getting better. On the back of when they see the hamster ball and the contest, there is an advertisement for a child psychic. People who see it know what that's going to be. And then the one other thing that was probably this was probably an accident, but really worked in their favor. Okay, so the old man is like this genius, right? He created, like, he's just this mad, crazy genius and stuff like that.
I like how his answer to every bad thing that happens in his
build
life
a giant robot.
Yeah, that destroys things.
And here they even say, in hindsight, it's a bit contrived. It's just a goofy joke. It's a way to, just. Well, we had to think of something that seemed funny.
A clue.
No, but it actually is a clue that I have
It's
no
a
idea.
clue?
I have no idea if they intended for it or not, because it looked like it was just a punchline to a joke. But actually, that genius does come back, which is really fascinating.
That's
or
right.
at
I
least,
still want Revenge of the Gnomes, though.
I'll be back. I want to see the
he-
gnome queen.
I'm like, they better come back. There better be like this big revenge plot involving gnomes.
No, my two favorite. It's a toss up between Mabel and Uncle Stan. Like, it's really hard for me to choose. I do love how Mabel in like every single episode has a new tacky sweater, which I can say for like a lot of animated shows. You have to keep that brand. You have to have them always wear the same clothes, so you can sell the toys easier and identify with them. But I love, like, in every episode, there's a new terrible sweater. And that just always makes me laugh, and it's always so tacky. Even in the opening, like, she plugs her sweater in.
I do like what a horrible person Grunkle Stan is, but Mabel, I think, is definitely my favorite character. I like Zeus, too. There's something about the idiot characters that just, I don't know,
I like Mabel.
They're very liberating. Like,
I
but then
like
again,
Mabel
I guess
the
I like
most.
Grunkle Stan for that reason too, because he's kind of like Basil Fawlty or what's his face from Black Books, Bernard Black.
Yeah, both getting away with stuff that
just
a part of you
yeah.
really wants to get away with.
The idiots and the jerks always get away with the things that you want to in real life, but can't because the authorities.
The man.
Man.
Yeah, no, Mabel is another one of those characters. She's like Ed from Cowboy Bebop. She's like the cat from Red Dwarf. I love characters that are just in their own world and they just love it and they're just happy over everything.
It's the glimpses into her world I love too, or the little flashbacks, and then you're just like, wow, I don't know what you're on, but I respect that.
Well, I love that how, the show obviously, has a big 80s influence, and we can't act like the 80s and 90s are not pretty friggin' alive and well nowadays. I mean, like, the generation growing up now kind of like,
well, that's
it's such a
because
hodgepodge of identity and it can't sort of form its own. Maybe it will.
There's
but...
a real reason for that. It's because we're the content creators now. Like,
Yeah,
our
no, it probably
generation
is.
like...
But they're still allowing
You
it. But if you look at a chart, like focus groups and stuff, they still do it. But everything is back. Ninja Turtles, Transformers, My Little Pony. I mean, it's all back. So it is interesting how like Mabel has these flashbacks in the '80s. She wears sweaters like the '80s, has earrings like the '80s, and it's so fascinating. But she's a little kid.
Think about some of the things we grew up on, though. We still had things resurging. The Flintstone Kids.
Yeah, that's true.
Stuff like that. Like, basically,
in...
that was their version of the second round, and I felt that actually was probably more original than what we have now, which is here's the exact same idea again.
Actually,
we've just updated
even
it.
Thinking back to, like, the Ninja Turtle cartoons and stuff like that, yeah, they said Cowabunga and Ate Pizza and Radical Dude, all that stuff, but, like, if you remember, like, a lot of the villains and the criminals, as if they had the fedora hats, they had the trench coat, and they went, and that's very much the generation that the creators grew up with, the very traditional
that was the baby boomer
gangsters.
generation was, throwing that one out. Or
So maybe it's always been going on, the more I think about it. But there is a very distinct, 80s and 90s influence that, like you say, I mean, it's got to be... The age of the creator looks our age, if not a touch younger. So I mean, it's like, it's no doubt, like...
Well, if you grew up... I mean, if you grew up in the early 90s, you still were exposed to the 80s. For one thing, the 80s died a slow death, just like the 90s died a very slow death.
I'm not convinced they're dead. Now they're like really trying to come back.
Yeah, but like, I mean, well, no, not in that sense, but I'm saying if you grew up with it, it's like really what we consider the 90s, I don't think really died probably till like 2004 or something. I still feel like when I watch shows from the early 2000s, they've got that 90s holdover feel.
Yeah, I mean a lot of decades.
Which is why I'm not even sure what 2000 to 2010 was about. Like when I think culturally, I'm like, what the hell was boy bands like?
Boy bands is a big thing. Yeah,
maybe I don't. Yeah, like
a lot of
kids
bands, like the boy bands. And
I feel like now the millennial hipster generation has its own identity that's forming, but like I don't know what that was from 2000 to 2010.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was being formed, and we, again,
like I can look at the 80s. I know what the 80s is. I know what the 90s is. I know what we've got now. I don't know what the hell we had from 2000 to 2010. So
yeah, fair enough.
I'd say tell us in the comments section, but I'll probably forget that this is being released because we're filming this a month ahead of time.
Yeah, so. We're just to clarify, like we are filming this like pretty much a month ahead of time.
This is November 14th.
Yeah, so I mean it's if there's something like, why did you address this that just happened last week? That's why.
Yeah, because there's so many. Even like Adventure Time, they're shorter.
Yeah,
these are really good. But I'm like watching these. I'm like, oh man, it's like a half hour at a wedding.
Yeah, I kind of forget how long they.
Yeah, so doing
it that half hour is long now because the internet and with the shorts with Adventure Time and stuff. It's like, oh yeah, like these are.
What are you talking about? Your reviews are normally half hour long.
No, but that's what I'm talking about with like. Like the shows that we did vlogs for, they're usually so short with Adventure Time, and it's like, oh yeah, these are like a half hour. So,
yeah, so it makes sense for us to do it well ahead of time, so we don't get like if we want to release these every day over the course of December, we're just gonna have to start now.
Yeah. So funny episode, lots of characters introduced that you don't even know are going to be continuing characters, which is great. Any other closing thoughts?
Can't really think of anything. I just thought it was hilarious pretty much the whole way through. So
yeah,
I think I covered mostly everything I would have. And again, the atmosphere. I just love this universe.
The monster being a robot, particularly the sea monster, I get a feeling that's been done a lot, like particularly in kid shows and anime shows and stuff. But what I like is that
Scooby-Doo to me. Like, but it's the old dude in a.
But what I like, it didn't suck out the fantastic element of it because he's done this like a dozen times before to just
wasn't
people
that
that mildly
sea
annoyed
monster
him.
At the end, or was that supposed to be the robot?
No, that's true, and then there is another sea monster at the end, which I'm curious what they do with that because I don't think he's come back yet, so I'm really curious with that. Good episode, and we'll see you in number 3.